My shoulder hurts. Give me an ambulance or something.
Who did you shoot?
Amanda.
What?
I shot Amanda.
Wyatt, what are you talking about?
All right, have and have not fans, my goodness, I put up a poll earlier today about, okay guys, what video should be the next one? The haves and have nots, did Wyatt really kill Amanda? My episode review for the Oval, or my episode review for Sisters? And it is plain to see that the people have spoken. The haves and have nots, as expected upon the show's return, would take priority over everything else. But some good news, my cold seems to be all but gone. You know, occasionally a cough might come out of nowhere, but aside from that, I'm feeling a lot better. Voice feels a lot stronger. Finally got my car from the repair shop yesterday morning, and it looks amazing. They went above and beyond. I'm talking about getting out dents that have been in there for years, repainting stripes along the side that have been dingy. So it was well worth the money doing that. So Lord willing, no other deer will jump on my hood anytime soon. Back in my apartment, spent most of the day cleaning, you know, just getting back into the groove of getting things done. So I will still be doing my Oval and Sister review episode reviews. I've watched half of Sisters already, but I haven't watched Oval yet. So next week, so basically, you know, next Tuesday, then Wednesday, everything should be more structured where, okay, Jeremy's going to have his have and have not review up within, you know, 10 hours, basically either that night or the morning after. And then the Oval and Sisters, I'll get those episode reviews out too, because I do believe they said that the episode after next week is the mid-season finale for Oval. I don't know about Sisters, but I'm going to assume it's also going on a mid-season hiatus, which if so would be great for me because, well, that means I won't feel the burden of 3 shows at once. But to be completely honest, if my Oval and Sister videos don't do well over the next couple of weeks, I don't know if I'm going to continue reviewing the shows. Like I said, 2020, making a lot of choices here because I need to be more effective with what I do with my time creating videos and picking what shows to watch. Let me know in the comments section. I know this is kind of left field, but when I was in the barbershop yesterday, there was a show on that I was in there for about an hour, and it really got my attention. I think it's called Godfather of Harlem. If anybody's watched that show, let me know your thoughts on it. I thought it was pretty decent for what the one episode I saw. But all that's to say, this video is about whether or not Wyatt killed Amanda. Did I ever create a playlist on this? I said I would, but I don't know if I did. But I have done, I know, over a dozen episodes about Amanda Cryer and her death, which I hated because if you've been a long time viewer of my channel alongside my blogs on WordPress I did before I started YouTube, you know Amanda Cryer was the reason I got into the show. When I first saw her on screen, I fell in love, and then I found out she was crazy, and then I loved her more, and then she got killed, and then I hated that. But, you know, my bias aside, I thought that it was a shame because there was so much for her character left, in my opinion. But we're not really here to talk about that per se. We're really here to talk about Wyatt's claim, shocking claim within the first 2 minutes of the last episode. Are you happy that he killed Amanda? Guys, I know, look, I understand if you all want to just come at me in the comments section. Dude, he said it, get over it. Why are you even bringing this up? I don't think he did because it makes no sense to me whatsoever that Wyatt killed Amanda. My mom and I, I'm sorry, that sounded wrong. My mom and I don't even know, I think I was laughing mid-sentence. That's why it sounded weird. My mom and I were actually fighting over this when I was at home to pick up my car. I went home like it was like 1 o'clock on Thursday. I drove home because they said the car was going to be ready. And it was pitch black when, you know, the car was fixed. But I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow morning, you know, my sister dropped me off. I picked it up and then I went about my business. But we were going back and forth about, yeah, that's right, because I met my mom to give the rental back. So, yeah, we went back and forth about Wyatt's condition. Amanda was killed in the episode Checkmate. Now, guys, these episodes are on Hulu. I know they only got like half of season 5, but not the back half or season 6. But these episodes I'm going to name drop are on Hulu. But Checkmate, which I believe on Hulu is listed as the season 1 finale, which is one of the worst season finales in the history of the haves and the have-nots. And no, I'm not just saying that because Amanda was shot, but I mean, like, in general, that was a terrible episode. But the episode Checkmate was the episode where Amanda was killed. And then the episode right after that, which I believe was called The Power Dance. That was the one where Candace had, Jim abducted by Warlock and whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, the episode picks up where it left off, where you hear Amanda, bam, the gunshot. And the next thing you know, Wyatt wakes up. He goes, checks on Amanda, closes the door, goes check on his mom, close the door, goes downstairs. Notice the door is, I believe the term is called ajar, when a door is like slightly opened. And then he opens it up, gets Jim's phone, closes the door, goes to Jim's study, unlocks the phone, sees all the text messages from all the women that Jim has slept with outside of Catherine. We're talking Candace, Celine, like what do you say, like his math tutor or stuff like that. And then he gets drunk. And then the next morning, that's when Celine comes in and finds him, through a series of events. Hannah goes to wake up Amanda because remember, everyone's getting ready to go to the press conference where Jim was going to announce he was running for governor. And, her and Catherine are talking. She goes to get Amanda, discovers the dead body. Wyatt comes in. What did you do? And then, he's kind of just sitting on the floor crying when Celine comes in and see what happened. But basically, my mom's argument, and a lot of people were saying the same thing my mom said, yeah, he did it because he was high. And the thing is, guys, when this show originally aired, it was season 2 in terms of, the time frame from the season 1 finale was when Wyatt hit Benny. And then season 2 picked up with Amanda and Candace going to the criers to ask for her inheritance or she would sue. And then the ending of season 2 was Checkmate. So when I say season 2, those are the episodes I'm referencing. After the hit and run, Benny was not, Wyatt did go to the crack house because remember, he was in season 1, he was almost finished with the rehabilitation program at Veronica's facility. But then after finding out that Jeffrey was sabotaging his rekindling relationship with his ex-girlfriend, Laura, he actually found out that, Jeffrey was gay because he had been suspecting that since episode 2 when Candace told Amanda and then she told Wyatt that Jeffrey was gay. And Wyatt was putting together the case in his mind and was able to fool. Remember what Charles did to Landon in this last episode where he pretty much used Landon's feelings to get him to tell the truth? That's kind of what Wyatt did. And it's like, he's rubbing against his leg and everything. And it's like, I can see the bulge in your pants, blah, 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 blah. And then, Jeffrey knocked him upside the head with the golf club. And then Wyatt took his keys and went to the crack house, got high, then little Lizzie and then Benny. Throughout the duration of season 2, Wyatt was clean. He didn't do any drugs. And he wasn't drinking at all. He was stuck at the crier house because during that time, they were trying to find a black sedan and, cover up Wyatt's tracks. And, that's when Catherine and Hannah had a falling out over Benny being hit. Wyatt, the one who did it, but then Catherine not wanting to admit that Wyatt did it. So Wyatt was clean. Hell, in the episode Checkmate, where Catherine and Jim had a dinner party. Remember that the only good part about Checkmate was when Quincy showed up and kicked Jim's ass. But remember, it was that's when Melissa was introduced to everyone. Like, we had seen her for a few episodes, but in terms of like Catherine, Jim, and everyone else, that they were introduced to Jeffrey's girlfriend. And then even when everybody arrived to the dinner party, Veronica even said, Wyatt, I'm glad to see you're looking well. Wyatt was clean. He was clean. The only person in question of, whether they were on something or not was Amanda, who was not on her meds. So the only reason in my mind that Wyatt would have killed his sister was, and my mom, I remember a few people were saying this way back when this episode actually happened. Maybe Catherine was the one that shot Amanda because remember, Amanda was running through the house. She was running in between. She was playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo. She was running between Wyatt and Catherine's rooms, pointing the gun at their heads, pointing the gun at herself, and then running around back and forth with the doors open. So it is possible that, oh, whoa, what if Catherine took the warning seriously because she was the one that believed Jeffrey when Jeffrey said that she had a gun, Amanda, but Jim didn't believe it. So basically, what if, Amanda it was a kill or be killed situation. So maybe Wyatt, but okay. I know, guys, it sounds like I'm running around in circles, but if you go back and watch any of my Amanda videos, in every single video, I do the same thing. I try to make sense of this. The main, you know what? It isn't about who killed Amanda. Like, I never believed it was suicide because, I did not get the episode title, but it was an episode where Jennifer Salison told David that, look at the blood splatter and everything. That was not a suicide. It was a homicide, even though Jennifer ruled it as a suicide when she got to the house to, observe the room. So I don't know. She was still investigating it. That's why I was mad that Jennifer Salison was killed, because Jennifer being killed means there'll be no resolution to the Amanda situation. Then oh wait, George found out that the bullets used to kill Jennifer were the same bullets that were used to kill Amanda. But here is the biggest question about the Amanda situation. It isn't about who shot and killed Amanda. I want to know what happened to the gun. Now, case in point, Amanda had the gun, obviously. But when the cops and everyone showed up to, clean the room and whatnot, the gun, as far as we know, was never recovered. Now, the episode where Catherine killed Jennifer, I believe she had called Veronica in order to set up a meeting with Jennifer at her house. And then after getting off the phone with her, that's when she unlocked the safe and then got the gun out. And that gun apparently had the same bullets that killed Jennifer. So my biggest question is that gun the same gun that Amanda was running around the house with? Amanda's gun was not something that the Cryers had. She bought it from a pawn shop. This was at a time where she was living at, her and Candace were sharing an apartment, and she pawned her earrings in order to purchase the gun. Quincy was teaching her how to use the gun, but then started, kissing her neck and everything. Then Amanda pointed the gun at her. Pointed the gun at him, and he left. But then they got back together. And then she got the death tattoo, and that led to her inviting him to the dinner party. So unless the same gun that Catherine took out of the safe and killed Jennifer was the same gun same kind of gun that Amanda used, I've never in my life held or touched a gun, so I cannot tell you if two guns of different models could fire the same bullet. I know I'm a complete novice. The only guns I've ever touched were water guns and Nerf guns. So call me Batman. I just don't call me Bruce Wayne. I don't like guns. So that's just my thing. Wyatt did say something interesting in the episode. This is one episode title I do have called The Broken Washer, when he's talking with Jeffrey about how he killed a man. Remember, this was after he left Vinnie Malone for dead in the Malone bar. And then he's like, I want to do it just like my sister. But before that, he said, dude, if you don't come over here now, then he's talking with Jeffrey, who's, Justin was in his condo that night, the one that David gave him, but then he tore it up. He was saying, I want you to come over here right now. And then Jeffrey's like, why? Just tell me what you need to say over the phone. And then he's like, you know what? If you don't come over here tomorrow, I might not be here tomorrow. And he's saying, I'm going to do it just like my sister. Now, when he said that, in my mind, I'm like, does that mean he's going to try to take his life like Amanda did? Because remember, Wyatt was under the impression that it was a suicide, not a homicide, unless he was the one that did it, which honestly, I still think he wasn't the one that did it. Okay. So then you get to the episode where he tells George that I killed my sister. Now, this could be one of several things. Tyler Perry just completely retconned the entire Amanda situation and Wyatt was the one that killed her. But once again, I want to know what happened to the freaking gun. The one Amanda had, the one Amanda was using. That is the biggest question that needs to be answered. Also, it was a homicide despite all the blood splatter and whatnot. So that doesn't make, I know, like, if you dip your finger in like a bowl of blood and just, threw your finger up, like, you put your finger in the bowl and just, jerk your hand back, then, blood will be all over the room in little spots and whatnot. But if you go back to that scene when Hannah opened the curtains, There was blood all on the dresser, big puddle of blood in the carpet on the floor, all the blood, on the half of the bed, and then even the picture Jennifer Salison showed David, the blood all over the walls. This wasn't like a suicide where Amanda just pointed the gun at the back of her head and then, laid down in the bed like somebody killed her. But remember, whoever killed her left the room without a drop of blood on them because there was no blood in the hallway or anything. So hell, even when Wyatt got up and closed the doors to everyone's room, there was no blood anywhere. So I don't know how Tyler Perry could write this to make sense, but I'm still under the impression that Wyatt is high because remember, he is high. Remember, he was still high off the drugs RK gave him. So he is just talking out of his ass, if you ask me. Not to mention the fact that George being, kind of crooked in his own, his own power when he comes to his job, couldn't legally be used against him because he wasn't given his what's called Miranda rights. He was getting shot and put in the back of a vehicle. So I think that Wyatt did not shoot and kill his sister. That's just my opinion. Now, if Tyler Perry does a flashback, or if he has a scene where Wyatt explains it, then if it's explained well and it answers all of my personal questions, then it makes sense. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to definitely call it out because the death of one of my favorite characters still makes no damn sense to me. Because I remember when Professor Cannon killed Amanda. Professor Cannon's wife killed Amanda. Quincy came back to the house and killed Amanda. I still think Celine did it, in my opinion. But I think this covers all my thoughts, guys. Remember, Wyatt was not high at the time. He wasn't drinking. He was clean. He didn't start abusing alcohol until after he had found Jim's phone. And one could make the argument that, okay, this is me trying to give this story the benefit of the doubt. The way the episode The Power Dance was set up, we had the recap of season 2. And then the recap ended with Amanda's cackling and then the firing of the gun. And then based off the editing of that, one would think that the gunshot woke up Wyatt. Then he walked around the house, he walked around upstairs, found, Amanda in her room, found Catherine in her bed, and then went downstairs, got the phones and everything. What if Wyatt... Okay, guys, follow me on this one. Don't go in the comments Jeremy's losing his mind. I'm trying to make sense of this. Because it was effective misdirection. If you go back to my blog, when I did this after the finale, Tyler Perry cut it where Amanda was seen in Catherine's room, but she was running out of Wyatt's. He made it so it felt like a maze and you couldn't follow whose room she was going into, and that was good. So what if Amanda, and this is how I'm thinking Amanda went, because eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I forgot what particular character, but Jim herself, Catherine, and Wyatt, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, each one was a character, so to speak. Jim wasn't there because of the fact that he was kidnapped. And I think the reason that Amanda was running around, kind of losing her mind, obviously even more so than it was, I think because Jim wasn't there, that affected her game and she didn't know what to do. One could make the argument that Amanda went back to her room and the game was over. She decided to not play the game or whatever because Jim wasn't there to complete the game, in order for it to actually make sense to her. Wyatt goes downstairs after checking on his sister and Catherine. He goes downstairs, finds the phone, unlocks the phone, gets drunk, goes back upstairs, or in a drunken state somehow knows the combination to the word I'm trying to look for is safe. If in a drunken state he was able to unlock the safe to get the gun, and then in the drunken condition he was in, he went to Amanda's room and shot her, and then went back downstairs and put the gun back in the safe, and then passed out on the couch in Jim's study where Celine found it the next morning, that's kind of believable, I guess you could say. I guess because Amanda is the favorite child of Jim or something along those lines, and maybe after, reading those text messages and hating his dad, he wanted to take away something he loved the most, which was Amanda. Because if you remember way back in like episode 2 or 3, Wyatt confronted Candace, because remember at the end of episode 1 he had seen Candace walking out of Jim's study late at night while he was searching the house for alcohol, so he knew about the affair. He said, hey, you want to know how to get to my dad? The best way is to get to my dad through my sister. So you could argue that Wyatt possibly did kill his sister. That would actually make some sense, I guess. That's the only way I can explain Wyatt using the gun to kill his sister. I mean, maybe if the gun was fingerprinted, but remember, I believe that a lot of people's fingerprints are on that gun. You have Catherine, who shot Jennifer, and then I believe Veronica got her hands on the gun as well, and then pointing it at David, and then David took the gun after he told Veronica to take the bullets, and then the gun was given to Jim, so the gun itself is gone. So there goes my somewhat of a theory where, ooh, what if the gun got fingerprinted and Wyatt's fingerprints are on it? But no. But you could probably ask yourself, well, Jeremy, how would he unlock the safe? Because he unlocked Jim's phone, because I do believe he said the license plate number of Jim's first car was the password for his phone, which Wyatt was able to unlock. And with Wyatt being one to, explore the house, every nook and cranny to find something to get high off of or something to drink, because that's when he brought up, the fact that he knew about Catherine's cancer because he found the medication. And it all made sense to me where, what if he did unlock the safe and then found the gun and then killed his sister and went downstairs and, just passed out. That's the only conceivable way that would make sense for Wyatt to kill Amanda, because once again, he was clean throughout the duration of the season that, he was dealing with the weight of the hit and run case. So in my opinion, I think Celine did it. I still think Celine did it. The fact that she popped up in this episode, I've been preaching Celine being the killer for almost 3 years now, but hey, we'll have to wait and see how Tyler Perry writes this out. But I know a lot of people can just say this is a shut and dry case. Jeremy, he admitted it, let it go. No, I'm not, because a lot of people up until this episode have been saying it was a suicide, not a homicide. So everyone has their own opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This video was a lot lengthier than I thought it would be, despite my 2-minute introduction kind of recapping why I haven't posted videos in a while. But I still plan on doing, well, I don't even know if I want to do it now, but I still need to do a video kind of recapping the channel growth and social media growth in 2019. But as you all know, after we hit a short, within 24 hours of hitting 100K, that's when the whole deer situation happened. Then I got that bad cold. So basically during the hiatus of the Oval and Sisters, I was pretty much in a crazy position where life was just insane. Like, I thought during that time I'll be able to, map things out, get my Patreon set up amongst other things, and be ready for the haves and the have-nots. But, life pretty much kicked me up below the belt. So I was in recuperation for most of that time. And I thought that would be a nice vacation, but it really wasn't. So more videos are on the way. I still have more have and have not content to do. The trailer breakdown video should be cracking 20,000 hits by next Tuesday, which is great. Like I said, the Oval and Sisters, I will get to them. But let me put it this way. did watch the first 20 minutes of Sisters, and I can honestly say the most interesting part was the private investigator, telling Andy the truth about Gary. So, yeah, I'll make the episode. I did watch the last 3 minutes of the Oval because 4 people sent me the clip of it where Kyle was shooting all the guys, as I predicted. So I will watch the episode soon. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Wyatt really killed Amanda? Do you think Amanda killed herself? Do you think Celine did it? Do you think Carlos, the oldest son of Jim and Celine, did it? I still think Celine did it, but that's just my opinion. How do you like my what if theory about Wyatt in his drunken state getting the gun from the safe and shooting Amanda? But like I said before, the biggest question to me is what happened to the gun that Amanda had? Because I feel like that's an important question that needs to be answered, where you found her dead body and that one cop who said it was a homicide didn't mention a gun. And then when Jennifer came and said it was a suicide, they didn't mention a gun. It's like, you say it was a suicide, but where was the murder weapon at? That's my biggest question. Did they take the gun or what? So I'm pretty much done with this topic until we get any more information. Please comment your thoughts. I want this video to get a lot of comments. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, follow me on social media. The links to all of them are in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. We are growing at a pretty damn good rate ever since the show came back. Just to kind of recap some numbers here, and I'll talk about this more in another video, but since the haves and the have-nots came back, my Instagram is like less than 100 people away from 14,000 followers. My have and have not Facebook group, I believe, is at 13,000 members. The have not Facebook page got over 15,000 likes now. My Twitter has over 6,000 followers, and the numbers just keep on coming. So thank you all for that. But with that being said, let me know your best answers to the question in the comment section below. I have more content on the way, so if you could just bear with me. Like I said earlier in the video, like all my cleaning and all that good stuff has been done. So tomorrow, not to strain myself, I'm going to be doing maybe 3 or 4 more videos, get those posted, and we'll go from there. But I hope Tyler Perry does make sense of the Amanda situation. And if Wyatt's behind, well, Wyatt is behind bars in the preview for what's to come this season. So I have no idea how he's going to get out of this one. But as always, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.